What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG. And you know what I thought would be kind of fun? Revisiting Theros Beyond. So today we're going to have a collector box battle. Only like the Theros is the second collector box. So Throne of Eldraine, Throne of Eldraine was the first collector box. Theros was the second collector box ever created. Thought it'd be kind of fun to revisit it. So how this thing's going to work when we open this thing up, we have 4 participants. Each one of them is going to get 3 packs. We're going to open those packs in rounds of 3, adding up the mana values for all the rares and all the mythics. And at the end of this thing, the person with the highest total mana value and the person with the lowest total mana value amongst rares and mythics are each also going to get 1 additional collector pack of Aether Drift, which we will throw off to the side here. In the event of a tie, we'll take the highest mana value mythic as a first tiebreaker, the highest mana value rare as a second tiebreaker, and if we need a third tiebreaker, we will go down the line with the highest mana value rare until there is a tie, no more. It's really interesting. I'm like trying to figure out, like, you know, if memory serves, like, I think the collector packs of Theros had really high mythic counts, like almost an average of like 12 per box or 1 per pack. But it's really funny because you can see how far collector boxes have come in terms of like the extended art foils are like maybe like 2 to 3 per box if memory serves, maybe only like 2 per box. Those were still like really special. Now like extended art foils are like really commonplace, but then it was still like the box topper look, right? Kind of emulating first Ultimate Masters, and then Throne of Eldraine did it, and Throne of Eldraine it was like 1 per box, right? Theros is kind of following suit with that, more mythics, but the actual extended art foils are still like pretty rare. So if you hit something like nice in there, like a Shadow Spear or something like that, Thassa's Oracle can be a lot of fun. Good pulls. All right, good luck, everyone. Let's have some fun. Revisiting the old Theros, and I forgot until just now that the weird layouts. Okay, sure. So used to like common, uncommon land sort of thing. All right, Threnody Singer, Heliod's Punishment. There is that's the other thing, right? We have the foil Pokemon lands, Constellation lands. These actually still do hold a little bit of value as well. You know, like not crazy value, but like maybe in like the $3 to $4 range per land, which is not bad. Oh, that's right. There's 2 per pack. I did forget that. That's right. Okay, all right. I see you, Theros. We start off with an Iron Scale Hydra. I think, yeah. Is that Commander? No, that's just the regular set. Okay. Into Thassa's Intervention. Gosh, this is a throwback. I haven't opened one of these boxes in ages. All right, so 5 mana value into 2 mana value. Extended art foil, Temple of Malice. Sure. Scrylance, huh? Elspeth Conquers Death. And a Constellation uncommon foil in the back. So, Temple of Malice, extended art foil. Sure, I should probably add up some mana value, huh? Pay attention. 5, 10, and 12 mana value for JA. 12. Sure, I'll keep the extended art foil temple on top. Back in the day before Uro was banned, the extended art foil version of that seemed impossible to pull and fetched a really big price tag. Even now, it still does hold some value, but it was, as it turns out, a really powerful card. Who knew? Blood Aspirant. All right, so foil Island Pokemon Land. They do look good, though. Into a Swamp. Here we go. Sphinx Mindbreaker. That is a 7. Haktos the Unscarred. That is a 4. Another extended art foil Temple of Plenty. Okay, sure. And, okay, uncommon in the middle, followed by uncommon foil back there. That's, man, look at the difference there. So we had Constellations. Those are very different layouts of collector packs, right? Very odd. Okay. So we have ourselves a 7 plus 4. That is an 11. 7 plus 4, 11. Sure. All right. And for all my blabbering on about mythics, we've gone 2 packs and haven't seen a single mythic. Am I just misremembering? Am I terribly wrong? I'd be surprised. If memory serves, I'd be surprised if this box finished with like under 9 mythics. And I could be very wrong, but we'll see. All right. Triumph of Anax. Enraptured. Hero of Nyxborn. All right. So first one, second one. There's the forest. Very nice. Rare is Demon of Loathing. That is a 7 mana value. Flying Trample. Deals combat damage to a player. That player sacrifices a creature. Pretty good demon. Also a 7 mana value. Into Wavebreak Hippocamp. The old horsefish. That's a 3. Well, that's just downright unusual. Temple of Enlightenment, Extended Art Foil. I don't remember this being a thing. Like, it's not like a 1 per pack. Like, it looks good. Too bad it's a Scryland, huh? Okay, sure. Uncommon Constellation Renata. Uncommon Timuret. That part I do remember being part of that. Okay. So, after all that, we have a 7, 8, 9, 10. That is a 10 mana value. I really hope that those Scrylands didn't just eat up all the extended art foils in the box. Sure. They look good. Alright, Fox Darts. This is wacky. Also, no mythics. Where's the constellations? Nyxborn, Nyxbloom Agents, or whatever they're called. Where are those? I would like to see some of those, please. Alright. The old plains. Followed by an island. Very nice. I mean, for, hey, if they're $2 to $3 a piece, just go up 3. That's 2 per pack. Not bad. A little residual baseline value. All right. And a common. What is going on here? This is so weird. Enigmatic Incarnation. That is a 4. It's actually a pretty good enchantment. Followed by a Nightmare Shepherd. Oh, yeah. This card used to see a little bit of play. That's also a 4 for mana value. Uncommon Daxos. Uncommon Daxos. That one only had 2. Okay, I know I said that, like, I don't think that common was supposed to be there. I really don't think that common was supposed to be there. I think, it's like, I know they were still figuring out collector boxes, but I thought they were a little bit more formulaic than that. That is an 8 for mana value. Crazy. Okay, sure. So after the first round, J8 with a 12, Kazi with an 11, ENH with a 10, and Fox Darts with an 8. Bizarro. And wait, we haven't seen a mythic yet, have we? No, we haven't. That's crazy. Okay. Weird. This box has been very weird. Fateful End. All right, land, sure. Land, sure. Rare is Elspeth's Devotee. That is a 4. Into an Erebos' Intervention Extended Art. That is a 1. Rare is Storm Herald. That is a 3. There's a mythic. Erebos Bleak-Hearted in the Constellation treatment. I think it's possible to get another one in the foil slot, but not in this pack. That is Anax Hardened in the Forge. That was a pack that I was like more accustomed to, as like far as what I was looking for out of these packs. So that is a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that another 12? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 it is. Okay. Absolute bizarre box so far. Kazi. Pending Doom. Chain Web Arachner. Alright. Might be the first time we've seen the foil Pokemon Mountain. Plains. Alright, rare is Death Bellow Warcry. That's a good one. That's a good one. I think it's like, yeah. Yeah, alright. That is an 8 for mana value. Felt like it's like a commander slot card. Like when I saw the Iron Scale and the Death Bellow, I was like, oh, I'm not sure if those are part of the base set. But they have the same set symbol. That's what's throwing me off. Alright, Galia of the Endless Dance. That is a 2. Classic Woo Girl. That is Phoenix of Ash. That is a 3. Phoenix used to see a little bit of play. That's Pack Foil Phoenix. Okay, yep. First constellation. There's one. There's a foil Erebos Bleak-Hearted. Yeah, that looks pretty good. These constellation treatments actually hold up really well. They're really nice. Foil Erebos the Bleak-Hearted. Okay, well that seems like a high mana value pack, right? So we have ourselves an 8, 9, 10, 14, 17. 8, 9, 10, 14, 17 it is. It's a 28, which is fine. What I would like to see is some more spiced out of the rare slot, because there is some really good rares, outstanding rares in this set. All right, Ian, back to you. Oh yeah, Feel the Rune. That was a good card. A good uncommon in there. All right, land. And Victory's Envoy. That is a 5. Followed by a Phoenix of Ash. This time in the extended art is a 3. Rare is Arasta of the Endless Web. Actually a pretty good card. Enchantment creature. Does some things. That's a 4. There we go. There's, oh nice, Perforos. I like Perforos. This is a pretty good card. 5 mana, 7/6, indestructible. Other creatures you control have haste, nice static ability, and then you may put a red creature card or an artifact creature card from your hand on the battlefield and sacrifice to the next instant. But it gets haste from Perforos, though. That's one of those solid, really, really good one of the gods. And then uncommon back there. Okay. Double constellation slot. So we have ourselves, well, another high mana value pack is what we have, right? 5, 10, 14, and another 17. 5, 10, 14, 17. All right, that's going to bring you to a 28, Ian. And Mythic count picking up a little bit, but still a little bit below where I expected. All right, Fox Darts. Had the weird, like, I think that was more of an error pack. I don't think that common was supposed to be in that slot behind the Pokemon land. Feels like we got screwed out of a rare mythic there. Staggering Insight, Dreamstalker, Manticore. All right, land number 1. Land number 2. Rare is Grasping Giant. Yeah, I think this was like not part of the set, like the commander, but they didn't really have a commander slot yet. If memory serves, that is a 6 for mana value. Into Eat to Extinction, that is a 4. Followed by an Eidolon of Obstruction, pack foil rare, that is a 2. First Constellation, second Constellation, double uncommon Constellation. What do we got going on here? We have ourselves a 6, 10, and 12. 6, 10, 12. I'll say the unfortunate part is it really feels like the 3 Scry lands ate up the extended foil slot, and that feels not great. Not great. Like, I was like, man, am I just misremembering these packs? Because we've started off with 3 extended art foil Scry lands in the first 3 packs, and it's like, nope, that's just unfortunate is what that is. All right, after the second round here, JA with a 24, Kazi in the high with a 28, ENH right below with a 27, and Fox Starts in the low with a 20. Last round, and apparently I was completely off on these mythic counts. I remember these being like, because of the constellation slots and the fact that you could get mythics in both the slots, I remember these being like really high concentrations of, these boxes being really high concentrations of mythics. And I either misremember or this box is an anomaly. And based off how this box has gone, it does feel at least a little bit possibility that this is an anomaly. Planes. All right, here we go. Start off with a mythic. It is Ashiok, Sculptor of Fears, in that what I think is commander slot question mark. That is a 6 for mana value. Followed by a Temple of Deceit, which is a 0, extended art, non-foil. There's a mythic. It is our 3rd Erebos to the box. I also don't remember duplication being this wild. Sure, pack foil Erebos, Bleak-Hearted. Now we've got our, this is not even a constellation, so nope. Uncommon, double uncommon. But we did get, you got your 2nd Erebos of the box. We really want Thassa or Heliod, if memory serves. Okay, so, oh yeah, double mythic, sure. So what do we got going on here? We have ourselves a 4 plus 6. That is a 10. It's going to put you up to a 34. Kazi, it is your turn. That does bring our mythic count up to like 4, I think. I'm also just trying to think about like if I was just way off and and how I remember these boxes. Whirlwind Denial. Drag to the Underworld. All right, our first of the lands. Second land. Rare is Serpent of Yawning Depths. This card had some value at one point. In fact, it still might. Krakens, Leviathans, Octopi, and Serpents you control can't be blocked except by Krakens, Leviathans, and Octopi and Serpents. Pretty neat. Makes a lot. If you're playing that deck, it pretty much makes your stuff unblockable. That is a 6 mana value as well. Followed by Storm's Wrath. 4 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. For 4 mana, not bad. Into a Thassa's Intervention. First myth. Oh, there we go. Calyx. Destiny's Hand, Extended Art, or Borderless, excuse me, Calyx. There we go. There's a mythic. Nylea Keen-Eyed. Oh, was it Calyx was in one of the constellation slots that time. Gosh. Crazy. Again, like I feel like this is at least a decent illustration of like they definitely didn't have like the formula down for collector boxes at this point. Like they're just all over the map. All right, well, this does seem like a high mana value. So we have 2 plus 4, that is 6, plus 6, that is 12, plus 4, that is 16, and 20, right? 4, 8, 14, 18, and 20. All right, Kazi, that puts you at a 48 and keeps you in the high, and that seems like a pretty high high. Hello, high. 6 mythics now? I'm going to throw the foil constellation Nylea on top. All right. Ian, back to you. Ian, you're chasing 21 mana value right now for the high, which is not... If you get double constellation mythic, it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. All right, here we go. First land. Second land. Start with a... Oh, buy box. Neat. Athreos. There's another mythic. Okay, that is a 6 mana value. And actually, I do like Athreos quite a bit. Shroud Veiled. He's pretty neat. That is a 6 for mana value. Followed by Eidolon of Obstruction. That is a 2. Followed by a Bronze Hide Lion, which is also a 2. Here we go. First mythic. Oh, Ashiok. Borderless Ashiok. This one from the actual regular set. Nightmare Muse. This card saw some play back in the day. That is a 5 for mana value. One more shot. It is an uncommon Renata. For the sake of my sanity, this at least brings us up, I believe, to 8 mythics in the box, which is more on par with what I remember. Like, I really thought after those initial packs, I was like, I have lost my mind. I'm completely not remembering this set, apparently. 6 plus 5 is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 4, 9, 15. It's going to bring you to a 42, which will not quite be high enough today for the high and unlikely enough for the low. Well, it can't be the low either. You're already sandwiched in the middle because JA has a 34. So Fox starts. Here's the deal. The high seems wildly out of place. You would be 29 behind or 28 behind. You are currently 14 below JA for the low. That feels like your lane. Having a common land, foil land is there in the comment section also really threw me off. Here we go. First land, second land. Uncommon in this slot this time. That is a, well, it's a 3. It doesn't matter. It's an uncommon. Actually helps your low. Oh, hey! Extended Art, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Man, I was... at the end of the day, I think we're still going to have mist on this box, and I'll go into that in a second. Like, there's so many good rares in the set that we didn't see. the Dryad is at least one of them. I was like, hey, I'm really not like, I want to see the Jolly Green Giant, and we at least hit that. Extended Art Dryad of the Elysian Grove. That is a 3. Pretty good card. Followed by a Tectonic Giant. That is a 4. Uncommon. And another uncommon in the Constellation slots. I will sleeve up a Dryad real quick. Let's add up some mana value. That's a 7 mana value. And that puts you at a 27, which definitively puts you in the low as well. So, final standings here. JA with a 34. Kazi in the high with a 48. E&H with a 42. And Fox Starts in the low with a 27. All right, here we go. So, Fox Starts, you have the low, you have the honors. I do intend to do a bit of a debrief on the actual Theros box, but let's do some prize packs first. All right, little Aether Drift. Oh, Borderless Foil Willow Rush Verge. I actually think that's pretty good. That's a solid hit right there. Borderless Foil Verge is not a bad place to be. Followed by Count on Luck. Little District Mascot. And that's a Rat Rod treatment. Accursed Duneyard in the Commander slot. A land I still really like. And a Spectacular Pileup as the Pack Foil Rare. And that will do it there. But Verge is at least not bad. Like, that's a solid hit. Okay, here we go. Kazi, you have the high. We start with a Basri Tomorrow's Champion as the as a borderless foil, followed by an Explosive Getaway. Unstoppable Plan, not bad. Actually, decent card there. On the Wings of Gold. And a Culloden Triumph Caster as the pack foil rare. And that will do it for that pack. So, what I will say, while it was fun conceptually to revisit Theros, like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's just not a good box. Mythic count was like, I think we ended at 8. At least that makes me feel like I'm not like completely crazy in terms of how I remember these boxes going. Still feels like it was probably a little bit on the low side. It is an illustration of like how wild the collector box assortments were in the past. Like the first, again, still them Wizards still figuring out the formula. But it overall the box hurt. Like when we pulled the 3 extended art foil temples, I was like, am I just misremembering how rare the extended art foils were? And it turns out I really wasn't. We just pulled them all up front and they all happened to be temples, which was wildly coincidental. But what it also meant is missing out on things like Shadow Spear, missing out on things like Thassa's Oracle, missing out on like Idyllic Tutor and some other really strong rares in the box. We also didn't see enough of the mythics from the base set. The Titan's Ball has been tough to pull, whether it was Uro or the black and red Titan. I can't remember his name offhand, but didn't see either one of those. Didn't see like a Nyx Bloom Ancient. So, as much as it was fun, man, like just whiffed in all the wrong ways. Didn't even see Heliod on the of the gods. So, yeah, I don't know. Them be the breaks. It's part of the box opening game sometimes, but this one felt especially rough. So, anyways, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys at least enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me, and by all means, drop me some comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much, everybody, and be well.